Hello and welcome to my channel and my messy desk, which I was going to clean off, and then I started the video and hadn't cleaned it off yet. Just pay no attention to all that in the background. Okay. For a second I thought I forgot to put my glue cover on my glue. That would have made me sad. This is my video for how do you do art for October. And just so you know, I've never been to art school or anything like that. I am just learning with you guys, basically. Especially when it comes to things like contrast. So October has to do with contrast. So I typed out some things from the internet. This part down here, 10 types of contrast in art, comes from the virtualartacademy.com, and I am going to try to do a tag with each 10 types of contrast in art. So contrast in art is just the principle that involves the juxtaposition of different elements to create visual interest, emphasize differences, and enhance the overall impact of the artwork. It is an essential concept that adds variety, depth, and dynamic to the artist's creation. Then I had to look up what dynamism meant, but it's just basically dynamic means a work has a strong sense of energy and movement and visual tension. It creates a feeling of action, change, or emotion, often by using techniques like diagonal lines, contrasting shapes and colors, and asymmetrical balance to guide the viewer's eye through the piece of art. I'm assuming that was supposed to say. So the first one is value contrast, which is variations in light and dark. Well, actually, we kind of have this a little bit. We have some light here and some dark here. Do we have any other pieces in here that kind of show? Oh, and then I had some lighter pieces that I thought, oh, here's some light and dark. I thought I'd add some dark to this one. And then also I could add some light to some dark ones, right? This one has some valuation between dark and light, like black and white, but not just black and white. Also darks and light. So actually quite a few of these. This one definitely has some variation between dark and light, which is really, looks really cool, I think. This one has some light in the, little bits of light in the background and darker on the sides here. This one could use probably a little bit more contrast if you're looking at that kind of contrast. This one's mostly dark, has a little bit of light. There is a little bit of contrast on that one and that one and that one, which is also cool. This one definitely has some contrast. Got the light in the background and some dark bits. This, see, yeah, apparently I just do it naturally. I tend to, this one's just dark. It could use some light, but also we'll save that for texture. This has light with some dark. This one has some light bits in the back, some darker. This one also has contrast. This one does not have much contrast. This is low contrast. There's a little bit of light in there. Just a little bit. Oh, and this side, it's mostly light. It could use some darker contrast, except for that probably would be the side I write on, and this would be the side I decorate. This one, I think, is kind of it's almost like an abstract landscape, even though it was just, picking up the leftovers on my plate. But it's kind of a cool piece, and it definitely has that contrast of light and dark. That has some light and dark. This is just, it has a little bit of dark grunge. I like when we talk about dark, sometimes it's just the grunge that adds the dark. These ones do not have much contrast. They're very dark. That one, when I added the stamping, I added darker stamping to give it some contrast. This one was color and color, but we have the light, the reddish, light reddish, and then some darker burgundy red. And that's the same as the other one. This one you can't really see as much of the contrast. So yeah, okay. So that's what value contrast is. I was going to try to actually finish something though with it. This is probably my favorite example of value and contrast with the light and the dark. But it probably also works for another one as well. Color contrast would be complementary colors or saturated versus dull. So like, well, orange would be opposite blue. This is yellow, not orange, but they're not uncomplimentary. Let's see. Do we have any here that are complementary? All right, so complementary colors are just colors that are opposite on the color wheel. So like, you know, red and green. Let's see, we have blue, green, and burgundy. So those might be, I don't have a lot of complementary colors here. This one has a little bit of yellowy orange with the green. Yeah, that doesn't. But if I were to want to add complementary contrast to this, I would probably add like the Chianti, the burgundy kind of color, for some complementary contrast. And, you know, maybe even some swirls. Oh my goodness. All right, so on Sunday, Patricia had like the zombie stamps, and she had this stamp, and I was like, all right, use one of those zombie faces with this as hair, either direction. It could either be like a beehive or it could be like big wide hair. Hold on, I gotta find a couple faces to do this. I think this will be fun. Squirrel should probably wait and do this one last, but I don't care. I think this will be fun. This might be like style contrast, so experimenting with different styles, and that's the 10th one. All right, so we have like a black and white photo, and then I'm going to do something with stamping. Stamping. Let's see. I'm looking for, I already have this other color on here, so what do I want? As far as, no, I want more vibrant. Should we give her red hair? We'll give her red hair. Okay, so I'm pressing firmly in the middle and around the edges. Don't need to pound it. In fact, you kind of don't want to. And it might not work because it was dry. All right, nope, it worked. Okay, I'm going to cut this out real quick. Okay, I think I needed a piece that was big enough to fit her, and also where she would still stand out. So whether I put her over here, she should stand out some. And I cut out this middle part, not perfectly, but all right, hold on. I might regret this. There we go. She's got a curl right in the middle of her forehead. I think that could work. It's almost like you could use it as a cloud too, like a really curly kind of a cloud. So I'm going to tuck that piece behind her, I think, and have this. Oh yeah, that way it incorporates her a little bit. All right. I'm just going to put glue on her bun. So I kept her bun. She already had like a messy bun. Now it's going to be even more messy. I don't want it to be like too far out. Oh, there we go. I think that might work. So I've got that piece tucked behind her face a little bit, and this one comes in front. And this is definitely style contrast because we have the black and white photo with the, what would you call it? Just more fun and whimsical hair, I guess you would call that. And I didn't cut it perfectly. But what I'm thinking about doing, which way did this go? I'm thinking about stamping this on here too so that we get the outside edges of what her hair was. Like all the little swirly bits that I cut off, basically. Just need the edges. I don't even need the middle so much. I think it goes, I think it's this way, must be, because that's where those stick out. Okay. So I'm going to do my best. If it's not perfect, it's okay. We'll still have some extra wiggle room with the, so like this is what I was saying, like it's too hard to like go all the way around those curves so much, but I still wanted to have them in there. And so I thought if I stamped it and then glued, of course now she's going to be on there crooked, but that's okay. I'll fix it. It's not a big deal. All right, let's just glue that on there. So this would be an example of style contrast and light and dark. And who knows what else? I don't know. How many different types of contrast do you think you could find in one piece? I mean, I think it'd be kind of well, you'd lose something if you tried to do all of the contrast in one piece, but If it was a large enough piece, you could maybe get away with it. But I thought, you know, since contrast was the word for the month of October for the How Do You Do art, I thought it would be kind of fun to learn about it. Kind of like I did a couple years ago with the Ephemerember, when I would look things up because the prompts were a little bit, maybe a little more obscure. And I was like, ooh, what does that word mean? So, and yeah, so I had this idea from just because I saw a couple stamps laying next to each other. Oh my goodness. Just put it in there, Darcy. It gave me this idea, and I thought it would be really fun to do. Now, I am looking for any one of my cutting boards. One that's easy. So, I'm going to kind of even her off on the bottom, I think. There we go. And... oh, also, how much can we cut off on this? I kind of want to cut a little bit of that off, so it's coming off the side. And then she's kind of over to the side, so it's kind of an asymmetrical, which was also one of the contrasts. Asymmetrical, where is it? Was it? Maybe not. View difference. No, asymmetrical was talked about up here. But I guess the balance of having, you know, more space over here than over here might also be. I mean, I guess she could be, what could she be on a page? That was me, not you. That was my phone. I can't put it on Do Not Disturb right now because I might receive a call from the doctor's office. Maybe. Or maybe that was a text to the pharmacy saying they got my prescription. Fingers crossed, that's what it was. I felt bad. I had to call. I called and left a message for prescription refill, but then I also called to talk, like, and press the button for, like, if you're wanting an appointment, because I knew that's the only way I would get to talk to an actual person. Let's do something around the edge here. Kind of want to bring this around the edge, I think. And I'm going to probably pause you guys for a minute because Dad's going to be coming down to fix the dryer. Well, there'll be noise because he's going to be fixing the dryer, but all right, I have a marker that's similar to the color. This is a water-based marker, and I'm just going to kind of fill in a little bit of that there and there. I mean, a little bit of highlights wouldn't be a bad thing. But I mean, I might come in and do something with a white or gold. Ooh, let's find a gold. And maybe do some highlights with gold. Maybe. Just have to find it. Actually, I have the bread that I got last Christmas at Walmart. See if it still works or not. Okay, I think so. So highlights would be on the top, right? If it comes out any, I don't know that it will come out any lighter. Nope. It'll be shinier, but not lighter. Well, now I've done one, I have to do a few. I don't have to do them all. I'm just going to kind of take some of these top pieces of the swirl and just, oh, I missed this piece over here. That's fine. Don't have to fill them in because they could just be, like, you know, extra little pieces of hair that are just floating out there. Could even add some bits if you wanted to. It's not exactly the same color, but that's okay. And let's see, there's nothing coming out over here, so maybe. And if you don't have the stamp, you can always just draw your own doodly hair. It's just fun. Granted, the stamp's a little bit easier, but I will give you that. All right. Let's see, there's a piece there. I'm going to find some white too somewhere. All right, this little bit there. And trying to keep it on the top of the hair curls. And when I made it, I was not thinking about hair, but now that it's out there, I'm like, oh, cool hair. Ooh, might even be fun on a, maybe this piece here. Like on an animal, give an animal some hair. That could be fun. But especially the tops of these curls, swirls. Let's see, anywhere else? Don't have to fill it totally in. You could just make your own tops. Any other ones? This one here. Not much contrast in these curls. And these, you know, you can barely see them, but they're there. Let's see. Does this work? Somewhat. Let's see if we can get a little white highlight on the very tops of those. Because why not? A little whimsical with some black and white photo. That is definitely contrast, style contrast. I'm telling you right there. I think I nailed the style contrast. I think. I don't know. What do you think? Did I nail that one? So that one would be style contrast. Also, some light and dark contrast, and so that would be light and value contrast. We were gonna do color contrast though, weren't we? That was opposite colors. What is the opposite of turquoise? Like, I would definitely have to use paint. Well, you know, if we had a color wheel here, that would help. Let's see. I do not have one. I know what it is. I need an image. Let's see. All right, so if we have like blue greens, the opposite would be pink. So, and if we wanted to do we do a dark pink for color, let's see if we can do that. Okay. I need an opaque pink. That's the thing. Oh, no, maybe not that. Okay. I'm going to say okay about 10 more times. Let's grab this for a palette. All right. So, quinacridone magenta. I don't know that this one, it should be more opaque than some of the other ones that I've got. That's the hope. All right, I'm loving her. Let's see. A Baron. Oh, me, not Baron. You know what you need, lady. This thing, but you got to loosen it up because paint's drying all up around the edges. I think this one's going to be ready to peel soon. So somebody did ask the other day in one of the lives on PM Artist Studio, if people clean their brayer, and of course, some people do. Like if you watch Carrie Griffith, aka Carrie the Crafter, he cleans his brayer as he goes. Some people might clean it after each session, and some people like me are more likely. I think this is not as opaque as I want it to be. Yeah, we'll still try it though. All right, now when using paint on the foam stamps, you got to wash it right away. And if I wanted it to show up better, I would probably need to like stamp it. No, it's showing. Okay, get the middle. It's not getting the middle. So what do you do then? You just, there we go. So that's color contrast. It's not light and dark. It's just the color. Because I kind of wanted to show that. It's okay. I like a distressed look. So it's totally okay that that middle is not. So that, should we try it on this one too? Getting little pieces of paper all up in there. Okay. This one has something on there, but that's okay. We'll try to get the places where there's less stuff. This makes kind of a cool pattern. Oops, that's okay. So now we have, this is color. It's all dark, so there's not contrast in the light and dark, but this is just opposite color wheel, complementary colors, the teal with the dark pink. I gotta go wash this, be right back. And I think I should point out that this week, Halloween week 2025, is double points at the PM Artist Studio shop, online shop, pmartiststudio.com. So, and what points do is as you build up points, then you can cash them in for coupon, like discounts eventually. So, you know, you build up points, build up discounts. All right, so here we have, this is color contrast. All right, so we have color contrast, and we had some value contrast. Well, that's value contrast. I had a lot of value contrast. Where's my favorite one? I had some that were like favorites with the value contrast. Where did those go? What did I put? No, I just put that up there, not a whole pile. Oh, I like this one for value contrast. This is one of the ones I like. And actually I do a lot of value contrast, light and dark, apparently. That's that value contrast. All right, so that's color contrast. I want to have a value contrast that I have in my pile here, because then we can kind of keep. Oh wait, is this it? No, it's the other. Hold on, it must be higher up. The one I liked the bestest, I think, was this one. As we have the dark and the light and some mid-range too, kind of, sort of. All right. So value contrast, color, texture contrast, smooth and rough. This one has some wrinkles on it. So it's got one texture on it, and it's got some smooth in the background. But we could also maybe add more texture somehow. Ooh, you know what? Should we try this? Whoops. I'm just kind of doing dots of glue, and then I'll let the glue dry. And then we'll have some texture once it dries. So that might be a fun way to add texture. So hopefully, what I'm hoping is that this glue will dry in the little bumps that it's making. Is what I'm hoping. The more you practice you get, the more better. Or I could even, should I do the thing that Gail does where you, no, didn't do it. It didn't really do much. That's okay. Kind of trying to make a, not a swirl, but kind of a swirl. All right, 3 places. Do a little bit up here. And we'll see after this dries if it stays up like that. It'd be interesting if it does. Be kind of a fun way to add. Gotta keep it up above a little bit. Up above the world so high. Like a diamond in the sky. And it should dry clear, ideally. So that would be, we got some smooth bits, some wrinkly bits, and some dot bits. So that would be texture contrast, I think. That's how that's one way that I might define that, or, you know, do an example of that. Size and scale. So varied sizes and proportions of elements. I think that the example they used had like, maybe like bigger pieces in the front with small, like, proportion, and, you know, the bigger pieces were the more focal points and the smaller. I tend to do it with even background elements, varied sizes and proportions. So like I might do like a large flower or a larger flower with smaller Why not even the pine cone? Ooh, that'd be kind of cool. I haven't done it much with the pine cone. Smaller bits, like in text. Ooh, that'd be a little much. Oh, here we go. We got two different sizes here. What color do I want to play with? I have my inks, just let's not cut our fingers off. That'd be good. All right. All right, we got the turquoise, and you know, let's go with that green just for fun. And we could just do all the same size too. So this would be kind of, for me, like a mid-size kind of a pattern. And sometimes I like to put the piece on the stamp because then it gives you not a perfect, like it gives it more distressed in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like put the cover on this one. Some people do like green and teal together. And so that's kind of what I'm doing here. Now, how will I don't mind if it overlaps a little bit. And I don't want it, all right, I want a little bit in the middle though. There we go. So now we varied some smaller with some larger, and could even go, I kind of want to put some of this on here. Just for the color. See, I added some texture back there. And I might even go with a smaller one, like a text, like a small text stamp, if I can find it. Even if I have to, ooh, no, all right, be right back. I'm going to do it in black when I do find it. All right, found my Tim Holtz one that has the words going different ways. And this is not quite as, it goes on a little bit more in a distressed way. There we go. So for a background, we have the small, the medium, and the large, the different patterns. So there's contrast in patterns, shape and scale contrast. If you were doing like a piece of art, I guess you would have like different, for me it's all about the backgrounds mostly. So that's size and scale. And shape and form is using differences in shapes and form. For example, organic versus geometric shapes. So let's see. Let's do something like this one. Some of you know I really like the juxtaposition of like a fancy damask and some grungy numbers and whatnot. But also, let's see. Okay, then we have, I got the smaller damasks too. Maybe this one. So that'd be kind of like elegant, and organic would just be like free-flowing kind of deal. Ooh. All right. And I think what I might even do is pull out the Harlequin, which is more of a geometric, and what do I want to do for color? Sure, why not some forest green? I don't have that one, that brush. I'm looking for brushes. I have green there somewhere. This one, it's a black one. All right, I like to use inks. They don't get underneath as much as like paints do. So there's that. Yeah, my Harlequin here is a little bit broken. I could use a new one, I'm sure, but you know, I'm not gonna worry about it. Because at least it lines up so you can do that. All right, and then where'd my little, there it is, little damask. I might even just use the same color, because you also get some value contrast when you use the stencil versus the stamp using the same ink. I don't need it to be perfect. There we go. So we have some kind of organic shapes with some more geometric shapes. And we even have, you know, it comes in, it's lighter with the, through the stencil, and the stamp's a little bit darker. So that's a little bit of contrast there. And because, why would I stop there? Especially if I have a crackle stamp to make it look old. Something brown, oh maybe brown, or because this is orange, right? Where's the other orange? I think I have it on my desk somewhere. Well, we'll just use this orange because it's probably a dirty orange anyway, especially if there's any brown on that, which I could also do some brown on it. But so I'm just gonna get some crackles happening in here. So we have some light and dark, but this was more about the shape and form contrast. So the organic with the geometric. And the next one is temperature, warm versus cool. So that's fine. So we have, this would be like cool temperatures, the blues and greens. And if we want to, or here, this one might even be better. The yellow is warm, and we can do some cool. So if I want to do opposite on the color wheel, I would do purple. But we're not doing complementary colors right now. We're just doing warm and cool. So yellow being a warm color, and then we could add some warmth. I kind of want to do some crackles again. Where's my blue? Oh, I do like yellow and blue. Oh, my blue's out. Of course my blue is out. Why wouldn't my blue be out? Because this does not have as much, it's not as dark. I wanted my dark blue, which I'll find in a minute. But I also wanted just some warmth and coolness. So I'm going to do a little bit of crackle in the blue. And also we have, this would have been good because we have the geometric lines. So we might even do just another example of some organic shapes with the, all right, I want to put some of this in the background too, but I want to keep it warm. So I think I'm going to do, not the orange, I think I'm gonna do some of this, the burgundy, the Chianti. Just for some more warmth. Okay. And then I might bring in this for the cool, doing it in maybe like a teal or dark blue or teal. I'm going to, I need, well, no, I can do this. So I'm going to do the teal for the cool, and then I will grab either my alcohol markers or my Tombow markers and kind of fill that out. It's really, it looks more green because it's dirty, first of all, because it's always dirty. And also going on the yellow. would green it out a little bit. But green is, you know, a cool color, so. I think I want to cover some of this with what? Well, we could just use this. I don't want that side. And I don't want this part. I just want this top. To come out from the bottom, just to give it a little bit more something on the bottom. Do I want, let's see, knowing that it will probably green out some, because this is an alcohol marker with the yellow, I'm going to go ahead and go full on blue. And then if it greens out, it'll be okay. Yeah, coloring and talking is not something I do. Just FYI. Okay, good. Last time I thought I was in screen and I wasn't as much in screen as I thought. Also, if I'm quiet and I actually do any editing, I can come back through and do that. I'm thinking of putting these in my idea journal and marking on the back what kind of contrast they are. I think that could be kind of fun. I'm thinking, do I want that to go up any taller? I kind of think I do. How? Maybe washi tape? I just want to cover the parts that I don't want to be so I think I want to cover. All right, let's go ahead and do the ink first, I think. Nope, I don't know. I don't want that part. Because the thing is, no matter how much you try to take off the ink, excess ink, it's still going to come through. That's the problem. All right, so I'm going to attempt to put washi where I don't want the ink coming through. I don't think it's going to work. But you know, sometimes you do things even if you don't think they're going to work. You have to try, right? Sometimes you do. You just have to try. Washi's definitely not going to work. Well, it might get some of that off of there though. Okay. Fingers crossed. I'm just going to go taller with it. That's all right. We got the main thing here. I just wanted it taller. You can always come through and outline it. Could even add. All right. All right, let's kind of see if we can get some darker at the base of the leaves, maybe. Because the whole point of this was cool and warm, right? And the leaves are the warm. I mean the cool. Oh my goodness, the background is the warm, and the leaves are the cool. And we can come back through. I don't know how this is going to work on, because alcohol markers, sometimes these won't work so great. But we'll try. I don't do straight lines when I do these. When I do the stamps or when I do my own drawings, I don't do straight lines. I like the kind of a little bit of a wiggly line. Just a little bit more, even more organic, I guess. That one comes underneath that one. Just kind of get my little, woo, woo. Did I do that? Yeah, I did. Woo. Little flick, flick, flick. A little flick for that little middle part. And then this one's going to be the outside one. I've already decided that. And that one goes behind that one, and that one can go in front of that one. And this one's coming up out of here, because why not? Let's just separate them just a little bit. Flick, 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 flick. Do we have flick everywhere? I think so. Alright, so there's our example of warm and cool. You have a little bit of cool in the background as well. So that was warm and cool contrast. The next one, so it was temperature contrast, I should say. Line contrast, using different types of line to create visual movement. Ooh, so like this one, which has our straight lines in the back, we could take our swirls. Where's our swirls? We had like a big giant swirls. Okay. And I think I want to do I want to do brown? What color do I want to do? Swirls would be my brain stopped. So we have the straight lines in the background, and we have some swirls. Oh, this will brown it out because we have the red on there, and I'm putting green on here, which should just kind of brown it out. Kind of makes a fun outline, because I didn't want to make the straight lines go away completely. So now we have the contrast of the straight lines with the swirly lines. So that was line contrast. Space contrast. Oh, placing elements far away from each other. Positive and negative space. I didn't quite understand that one. This might be a good one to do it on, because these are all placed far apart from each other. Yeah, this one I don't understand completely. Space contrast, using positive and negative space, empty space around the elements. So, my brain stopped up. So like maybe we will use the, oh shoot, my texture one is drying, but all right. The pine cone. And leaving negative space around the pine cone. I don't think I could line that up again, could I? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to line that up. I may regret this. I don't mind if there's a little bit of a red shadow behind it, you know. Oh, that's a little bit 3D though. That's not what I wanted. That's not even close to what I wanted. How would I fix that? Would I come in with the blue I know, not a lot of pine cones would be this color, but it seemed like the best way to kind of fix what I just did. Kind of, sort of, maybe. Maybe not. Because it's really close to the blue lines, so it basically just eliminates the double line with the blue line. And do I dare come in with like a black and see if we can get some dimension back from the alcohol markers. They're a little strong. I'm looking for a black ink, looking for a black ink. I have that right here. Let's see. Couldn't line it up the first time. Why am I going to try again? Because I just do things like that. It's what I do. It probably won't match up with either one. Don't know. But, you know. So, we have our weird pine cone now. Might just kind of come out here with this. It's getting fatter as we come out to the edges, right? Okay. So, leaving space around it, right? So, space, negative space and positive space. But then also contrast. So, let's see. Space, positive and negative space, placing elements far away from each other, creating a hierarchy of elements. Empty space around the elements is negative space. So, the other elements that I might add here, smaller elements, might be, where'd my X's go? All my X's live in Texas. So, leaving some negative space around that, between that and that. So, leaving negative space. Do we dare? Do a little bit right there, just a little bit. Maybe I will find something to put over that. I'm not loving it. Not loving it. I don't know, but those might be easier to do something with negative space around. I don't know. Don't know. I'm just going to leave that for now, and just, that's my example of negative and positive space. You know, I've got the big thing in there, and I got the smaller things back there, and there's negative space around all of them. I struggle with that one. I really do. Directional contrast, using lines, shapes, or other elements that guide the viewer's eye in different directions, adding dynamism to the composition. So, let's see if I can figure it out. I think the example they showed was like, it was art, not just a tag, but it kind of like had, so say we were like to have like kind of a hill, and there was like maybe something here, and there might have been a boat coming down the river there or something. Just to kind of give an idea of directional contrast, like using lines, shapes, or other elements that guide the viewer's eye in different what? Directions. Oh my word, why is that so hard? One good example of that might be like the sun or the starburst or whatever. So in your line, when it says lines, it doesn't always mean definitely straight lines. So You know, like these lines here are going to definitely take you in different directions. So yeah, this one and the other one I might kind of struggle with. But a background stamp that I might use for that would be, or stencil, might be, where's my, do I have them in the stamp form? Don't know. Lines that take you in different directions. Ooh. This might be a nice example, even though they're words, like this does that. And then if I were to add some of these letters on here as part of the background, it would give me more directions, right? This is the IMPP. Especially if I just kind of do it in, whoops, different areas. Just kind of, and then maybe something else in the middle. What? I don't know. It definitely takes you in different directions, doesn't it? But then as a background, it's kind of cool because you can then add a focal point to that, which would, you know, show that that is an interesting background, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Does anybody know what I'm trying to say? I don't think this is the right picture, but let's see. I want a little more fussy cutting on here. That's the thing. Not going to be a lot of contrast between the background and these leaves, but that's okay. You know me, and half fussy cutting, half fussy ripping. How I like to do that. Don't know why I do, but I do like to do that. It's too straight. I want a little more organic. And then even this line, this would be like a line that kind of goes up too. I don't know, but you can see that as a background, and then you put something, I don't know, maybe not. I don't understand all of the somebody will probably know me up. Someone who knows art better than I do. I am a self-taught artist, and I basically I play and I do things until I like them. I don't love this as part of the problem. But you know, it just might mean that it's just not finished yet. And it might just mean that that orange in the background is just too washed out for me. Who knows? I could try putting a glaze over it. What do I mean by that? I mean, just put like a thin layer of translucent paint over it to change the color, because that orange in the background is a little not my favorite. I'm not loving it. I'm not McLovin' it. Also, darken up some of that the white gesso that's back there. Orange, opposite of orange is blue, but I don't really have a blue that would necessarily. What if we just kind of bring it? Oh, maybe. Should we just use Patricia's favorite? Transparent red iron oxide. I mean, there's a little magenta back there too, so. funsies. Maybe get the hair off of there. Just to, I don't know what it's going to do to the blue, but it is, it's a fluid acrylic, and so it's going to have, and because I used alcohol inks, what will probably happen is it'll leave a transfer, maybe, on the plate of the, no, it didn't. Oh, it is better, though. And it picked up darker, you know, with the other color that's under there. It's not as wishy-washy as, just want some more down in that corner. Might just want it thicker all around. Let's try that, make it more thicker. Patricia from PM Artist Studio, she would say, yes, red iron oxide is the answer to a lot of things. There we go. Ooh, nice grunge. A little bit of grunge happening on there. We like that. That might be a fun pickup. I might pick that up later. So, but the whole point of this one was the lines going in all the different directions, taking you in different directions. Let's maybe paint in a paintbrush. You know, I'm just going to play with it until I like it, you know. Ooh, maybe some Payne's Gray. Maybe that blue is not quite rich enough for me to... Payne's Gray. Okay, this is Liquitex Payne's Gray. And just a rough, it's just a brush. It's not anything special about this brush. But by darkening this line and this line, and I might even add some more lines, like maybe some thinner lines. I think I don't know, just go crazy. Get your line on. So basically lines going in different directions, maybe getting a thinner brush if you want to make thinner lines. If you don't want your lines to be overly you know, you can really have fun with this, just getting some paint out and just playing with lines on a painty background. Could kind of be fun. You could connect them. So these are all straight lines, except for that one. But, you know, maybe you want to come in with some more curves. It's almost like a, I don't know what it's almost, a ladder maybe? I don't know. I'm not going to worry about if we mess it up a little bit either. It's fine. Maybe you even want to do kind of a circle in there too. Because why not? I don't know. I think this might be kind of sort of what they mean by like the lines going in the different. So that was line directional contrast. So I kind of want to. So let's see. So we'll start with number one. He was number one. All right. So starting out with number one was value contrast. And let's write that on the back. Value contrast. So which is light and dark, right? Yeah. Light want to write light versus dark. Okay, so there we go, value. And the second one was color complementary, color contrast. So that would be complementary colors. Complement to A-R-Y, right? Yes. Complementary colors. Yeah, sometimes it's neat, sometimes it's not. So we have the turquoise with the dark pink. And the third one was texture contrast, which need to make sure, wait for this one to dry more. Texture contrast. So, you know, rough and smooth. Size and scale. Size and scale contrast. I do that a lot with my patterns. You know, I vary the size of the patterns for a background. Shape and form, which was, is this one different? No, different, uses different shapes and forms. Oh, organic versus geometric. Shape and form. Here we go. Shape and form, i.e. organic versus geometric. So there's that one. And temperature contrast, which was warm and cool. Temperature contrast. So that would be the color temperature. So, oh shoot. So your reds, oranges, and yellows are warm. Your greens, blues, and your blue purples are cool. Your red purples are warm. Let's see, temperature. Line contrast. So this was this one. We had our straight lines and our organic lines. Line contrast. These are going to go in some kind of example book, just so I can remember. Space contrast. Oh, yeah, we're going to probably redo that one at some point in our life. Space contrast. Oh, if you think about space, right, and how the planets are here, and then it's got a lot of negative space around them with maybe some little bits of stars. And this is positive versus negative space. Will I be able to read my own writing? Maybe not. All right, that one needs work. Directional contrast, that was this one. That one probably could use some more work too. And style contrast. This is probably my favorite one for style contrast, where I've got the photograph with the whimsical. So I hope you guys enjoyed that and maybe even learned something about it. And I will definitely use the hashtag how do you do art. It's hosted by Sharyl at the Whole Bucket, and I will also link the other people that have been doing that this month, playing with contrast. November will be fun. November will be, should I tell you what November is? Because I know we didn't know at the beginning, but I know now. Something about nature November. We like alliteration around here. So, and as a bonus, if you use neutrals, so neutrals in nature November, I've been wanting to do something with neutrals, so probably will. All right, hope you guys have a delightful day. Love you. Bye.